Mamini Owura Hasan Ayariga, founder and leader at the APC Amanyokuo no. Mamini no any enkomo a former presidential candidate. The Excellency, good morning.
Good morning to you, and good morning to your cherished viewers and listeners.
Thank you. We are grateful for your time this morning. So, first of all, there is a statement you have made that urging Ghanaians on to go and occupy the Saglemi Project. You said this earlier on in some time past, and then I'm told you have still repeated such comment and calling on the ordinary Ghanaian to take chance and occupy the project because such projects were built with resources from the taxpayer. Let me hear you more on this.
Yeah, as you're aware, we have a lot of housing deficits in this country. And as a matter of fact, the main purpose for Saglemi Project was to cushion the housing deficits in the country. And when the NDC left power in 2016-2017, the NPP took over and continued with the Saglemi Project until 2019 when the minister was changed. And today, the new minister is telling us that the project is estimated at a cost of $64 million. And that is the value of the project as of today. And as a matter of fact, they need $46 million to bring water and electricity. And then $68 million to bring in essentials that will make the place habitable. And if you put the two together, then we are looking at $140 million. Now, if you value a property that is 80% complete, 1,506 homes at $64 million, then you now value just bringing in water, electricity, and essentials at the cost of $140 million. Then you are telling us that the justification that the NDC used $200 million to build that house is right. Because it doesn't make economic sense. It doesn't make mathematical sense that the cost of water and electricity is more expensive than the project itself. I find it very, very difficult to understand the minister. And for that matter, they do not have their money. They cannot afford a $114 million, and they want to sell it to a private individual. Now let's question the integrity of this statement.
I see.
$64 million for water.
Yes.
I think that we all know and electricity that communities, when they are built, it is the responsibility of the ECG to bring power there. That is the mandate of the ECG.
Okay.
The mandate of the ECG is to extend electricity to communities to be able to use the facility. Now, it's government telling me that right in front of Saglemi that I have seen a huge, transformers there. Because there are houses and factories around those places and communities. Are they telling that all these people paid over $46 million to bring power to their homes? And how difficult is it that the ECG will just tap more than 10 poles and is going to cost because all the properties in that community have power. Saglemi has power. Wires. They've wired the whole buildings. And we are not coming to wire new buildings. No, we are only extending power from less than 2 kilometers to the building, and it's going to cost the taxpayer for another $46 million. Now they are telling us this thing with water. I have a community, I have a house around that area, and I'm using a borehole.
Okay.
And my borehole serves not only my place, it serves all the people around that area. They use it for the water. Just one borehole. So even if we say Ghana water is difficult to bring water, what about mechanized boreholes? That the water table there is high, and we can do that. How much is it putting up a mechanized borehole at there? Less than 7,000 Ghana cedis. If we put 10 of them, we can integrate them and feed the whole community there, and they'll be fine. Now, Going back to essential. What are the essentials they are talking about? The place has road, gutters are there, drainage system is done. I have seen the place. I have seen everything. So I don't understand why government is asking for $140 million just to put up these three essentials. In any case, if government say we do not have money to put up and now they are going to sell it to a private individual, don't forget, anything that private businessmen will go in for are to make what? Profit.
Exactly.
No private man goes into a company, anything to buy and wants to lose. So what it means that whatever we are selling it to the people to take it over and buy and make profit out of it. So that means it is profitable to even invest 140 million, even if that is the case. Because if it is not profitable, no businessman will buy it, okay, and want to sell. Because businesses, men and women, are in for profit. That's all. And I want to ask government. Government is a huge machinery. And Ghana Water Company is part of government machinery. ECG is part of government machinery. So why will we say that we segregate government properties now and say, oh, the Ghana Water Company cannot give us water unless we pay? Okay, let's do a better trade. Let's say Ghana Water Company, among the houses that we are going to put water and electricity, we're going to give your company some few houses of it. Okay. We'll give you maybe 10 homes or 20 homes, put water. Your company can have those ones and put in their workers. Am I right?
Yes, exactly.
ECG2, we do the same. Are we not moving forward? So does it mean that anytime we find difficulties in things as a government, we should sell? So that means that now that the economy of Ghana is in limbo and crisis, so they are willing to sell Ghana. If they go to IMF and don't get the money, then they'll come and sell Ghana and tell us that they cannot manage because Ghana is becoming very expensive. That is a clear indication of our minister telling us that they want to sell Saglemi. Saglemi was built to cushion the Ghanaian taxpayer. So the purpose of Saglemi means affordable housing project. Affordable housing project. It doesn't mean that we should build and if we cannot, we should sell and go and build. What is the guarantee that if we sell Saglemi, we will get the money and build another one? Because we've sold many properties in this country and we have not seen the money.
Yes, exactly. But we even believe that for now, if you are to compare and do the value for money analysis, definitely you're not going to get the actual input of funds because time has passed and then some of the resources, the fittings and all, has depleted. And then you are actually not going to get the exact money you put in there. But the question again will be that why is government not prioritizing this particular project as compared to the privatization and the importance they've given to the National Cathedral? Many are asking such common sense questions that how much is required to complete National Cathedral as vis-a-vis required to complete the Saglemi Project.
You are asking about how much is required to complete. How much was the cost of the drawings of the National Cathedral alone? It was over $30 million, just drawing. So if government is saying that the drawings of the National Cathedral is $30 million, drawing, not even the building.
Yes.
How much are we going to spend in building? And we've destroyed homes, yet the lands are there. Nothing has happened. Till date. No work in progress. Now, even let's say that this is government property. Like I said, government is the biggest machinery. We say, okay, government says, okay, fine enough. I am suggesting, even if government doesn't have a clue of how to manage this thing, the military have serious housing deficit.
Okay.
The police have serious housing deficit. What about negotiating with the military and saying that, okay, you guys have a whole lot of military, housing deficit. Your men and you guys who are coming don't have homes. Let's give it to the military. Is it not going to cushion the public worker service? Let's give it to the police. Is it not going to cushion? Let's give it to other institutions that are lacking homes. If you think that the Ministry for Works and Housing do not have the money, other ministries have the money to complete. After all, it is government property. And and we are all going to benefit. Am I right?
Yes, exactly.
If you don't have that money to do it, why do you waste money, taxpayers' money on unnecessary things? Buying of land cruisers, taking Black Stars to the World Cup and sponsoring players, what do you call it? How do you call them? Supporters. Doing all that unnecessary thing that is not necessary. What is wrong with us as a country? Does it mean that any time we cannot manage our economy, we should sell that particular aspect of it? This is a U.S. government who do not understand governance. And I tell you, I don't want to go in that an issue where we have sold what do you call it, Kufuor's even properties that Kufuor built some Smith buildings. They sold them. What happened? Okay, give it to Smith.
Yes, but again, Honorable, the technocrat tells you exactly that they've done their assessment. They've looked at the current state of the project, and they think that it's not viable enough for government to reinvest additional funds into that.
No. Please.
That is the basis for which the minister makes the assertion.
This building is just 6 years old. They're about 6-7 years old. And you are telling me that nobody has ever occupied in those buildings. The only problem with these buildings is that when you don't occupy them, then they start cracking and having some kind of I wonder some of the glasses were because of the wind, the extent of wind blow around these places. Some of the glasses were breaking. That is a fact. But if you want to reinvest, we buy homes here in this country that are 30 years old and renovate them and sell and still sell and make profit. Don't we? The value for money is that these buildings are new properties and some are not even complete. Some are at various stages of complete. So why don't we stage it up? We are looking at deficits. We are not looking at just the quality of building alone. We are looking at houses, having housing deficits. Government is talking about electricity and water being a problem. We have homes in these communities, even in East Lagos, in Tzadako, and they don't have water. Don't we? What is the Kufuor Galon meant for? I'm going out with the Kufuor Galon to go and get. Now we are calling Nanado Galons too as well. Why are these people using it for water till date? Have we solved the issue of water problems in this country? No. There are communities even in Greater Accra, in the center of the country, that don't have water, that people have to buy. Go to Tzadako. People buy water every day with tanks inside surrounded Tzadako. Look at these beautiful properties. Look at the land. Look at the value of land there. Look at Tide Road. What are they talking about? Just power. And you think that we need $46 million? Come on. $46 million.
So you disagree with the report?
I disagree that the property is valued at $64 million.
I see. And you disagree with the report from the Ghana Institute of Surveyors because they are the advisors advising the minister on the very next step to take.
I disagree that its property is $64 million. There is conflict of interest in here. Because you cannot just bring water and electricity for an essential for $140 million, and then the property itself is $64 million. What it means that water and electricity is more expensive than the property. Does it make sense to you? Does it make sense to you? This is the calculation I want the minister to come and tell us. That the water and electricity alone is more expensive than the huge property that government has put there. Because if the cost of the property is $64 million, how can water be 46 and other essentials be 68? What essentials are they talking about? Roads are done, gutters are done, drainage system is being done. The properties have wiring, they fix everything. It's just for people to go in and clean the place and paint the place and sleep. So for me, I will say that the people of Ghana should wake up. Talk to government not to allow them to, if they're forced to privatize it, then we must occupy the place.
So you still stand by your earlier position?
Yes. If they want to privatize it, we are also private individuals. We'll go and take it. They should come, we'll pay the money installment to them.
Interesting.
Ghanaians should go. Yes, instead of giving it to one particular individual who's coming to make profit or company, Ghanaians should go and take it one by one and pay to government. We'll buy them one by one. That's what they should think. If they refuse, we'll buy them one by one. They should sell them one by one. Ghanaians will buy. Ghanaians are willing to buy. They should quote the properties and sell them one by one, so that they will do auction. Let's auction it to Ghanaians. As easy as ABC. Let's auction the property to individual Ghanaians, private Ghanaians. Public workers should come and buy. You come, you tell us where you work. If you work in the private sector, you bring in your pay slip. We'll look at it. If you can buy, we'll sell it to you. You pay in installment. Finish.
That is not a bad suggestion at all.
Yes, finish. Anybody who is a worker and can pay, is bring his pay slip. We'll put an office in there. We'll sell it to them individually. Okay, you work here. Okay, let's see your pay slip. We'll look at it. You're qualified to buy it. We'll pay. Okay, you pay to the bank. This is the accounts. Keep paying every month. That is all we need. I mean, it's for all of us. That's the best way to go, rather than to give it to a private individual. And that's my take.
Okay, that's your take. But wrapping it up with you, yesterday, the Electoral Commission has given indication that they have revoked the certificate, registration certificate of some 17 political parties. Is the APC inclusive of the 17?
Yeah, APC is number 18.
But what do you make of that particular development?
You have seen that the APC is not there. And you're asking me whether they are inclusive. If they are there, the APC is number 18. You know, a friend of mine who is a minister yesterday sent me the list of political parties.
Yes.
And then he wrote the APC is number 18.
I see.
I called him. I said, Minister, are you teasing me or what? He said, oh, like this country will bend. I said, why? He said, hey, the way you fight everybody in this country. I said, no. The problem is that they have asked that we show evidence of offices.
Okay.
We bring in our audit accounts. And then our headquarters and regional and constituency office. This was the requirement by the EC. And they gave every political party a note and a time when to come and inspect offices, party by party, region by region, constituency by constituency. We in the APC, we already have our headquarters in Hacho. I think you know our headquarters.
Yes, I've been there before.
You've been there several. Okay. And then we have our regional offices and constituency offices that are already there. You know, in 2020, because of the COVID-19 protocols and the pandemic, you know, they asked that nobody should sit in offices, but we still had our offices, even though they were closed, but they were still in the name of the party, and we continued to pay the rent for those offices. So when they came, it was not even a problem for the AP. We were rather even calling them every day to come, because our boys are waiting for them to come for inspection, even though at that period, the NPP was having some kind of I think either their primaries or something. So it coincided with the MPP primaries. So sometimes we even call them and they are busy at the primaries of the MPP, and before then they will come. So the APC has all the offices in various constituencies and regions, and we've submitted our audit account. We always submit our audit account on time. So the rest of the parties, I'm told they wrote to them as well, telling them that they should give a reason why their license shouldn't be revoked, and they gave them time to respond. According to Dr. Silva yesterday, all these parties refuse to respond to them. They don't even have a single offer. According to them, they categorized the parties into three categories. The first category was those who had qualified entirely, and then second category were those who had offices in some places and could not have the rest. And the third category was those who didn't even have a single office. So according to them, the 17 political parties didn't have one office, not even a headquarters. And that is why they wrote to them and asked them to provide evidence. But they are also arguing that living in the modern world where people can operate digitally from their homes and from their computers, and even businesses, people can sit at home and do businesses. They are arguing that the offices should not be a problem. But then, that is the law of Ghana. That is the Political Act 2005-74. And that demands that political parties show evidence. So, for me, I think that these parties, if they want to continue to have their certificate, I think they should quickly, again, go and get these offices and run back to the EC and show evidence of these. I'm sure with that the EC will reconsider their decision to maintain them. But Nowadays, the economy is tough. To rent an office is not an easy thing. Not to talk of 275 offices, or even a little bit less, 177 offices, including regional offices, for two years or 4 years. It's a whole lot of money. And most of these parties that they've mentioned, I don't even know their presidential candidates and their founders. That is a fact. Apart from the Jataba party and the ODKs and then the World Bruce that I know they have been in the system for some time now. But we need to make sure we abide by the rules and regulations of our constitution. That's it. So I wish them well, those in those political parties, to come back quickly and get their offices so that we can move on as a what do you call it?
As a country.
As a country, and then we all we need in government and in this time is a third force. We need a third force because Ghanaians are tired of the NDC. Ghanaians are tired of the MPP. And I tell you, the economic situation has worsened to the extent that any of these two parties that is going to become the government of the day, the economy of Ghana will be worse than now. It will be worse than now. I must tell you the truth. Who becomes the next president if it's not a third force and it's going to be NDC or MPP, that leader will go down as the worst president of the Republic of Ghana.
I see. But does Mr. Hasan Ayariga still have the interest of becoming a president? If so, if you do, what is the plan? We hardly hear of the APC with your rearrangement. Reorganization of your party from the polling station or branch level, doing your elections to get your national executives and all of that. We do not know of any such arrangement. What is the party doing in its quest to shaping up the entire system?
For 2024, the best bid for Ghana is APC and Hasan Ayariga. That is the best bid for Ghana. And you ask of party reorganization and party restructuring. We are doing our party reorganization, but as you know, we have 2.5 years more to go into an election. It costs a lot of money to do reorganization very early. It costs a lot of time. It costs a lot of resources. But we do have our executives who are already there. We just finished with the party offices, which is a whole lot of cost to in past part. And don't forget, our party is not as corrupt as those parties that have so much resources to waste. We are strategic. We think that right now what we need is to be able to bring in alternative solutions to the alien economy that we are facing. We think that at this time, Ghana needs everybody. And what we need now is solutions. We are in crisis. And in times of crisis, you need strong men with strong institutions and strong ideas to build a country like Ghana. And as of now, you've seen it. The NDs have exhausted their own. The MPs have exhausted their strength and their vision and policies. So all that is left is recycling of them and recycling of lives. And we think that moving on, Ghanaians all over, I have been going around speaking to youth empowerment, about youth empowerment. Tomorrow I'm going to be talking at the UN Peace Tolerance. Yes, 2 days ago I was at a university, Christ University, talking to the youth. And every week I find myself in a different university or portfolio discussing about how our country should be put on a different pedestal. This is campaign. This is reorganization. This is touching lives. And this is changing the economic fundamentals of the Ghanaian youth. The Ghanaian youth need a savior. And this is what I'm doing. Interacting with the youth of this country. By the time I'm done, and we are going to go into the next APC reorganization and election of party members and executives, you will see that a huge groups of young men and young women will invade the whole party machinery to become leaders of the APC in various constituencies and in various polling stations.
Mr. Hasan Ayariga, have you by any chance seen the expose by Anas with the latest video, Galamsey Economy? Or have you ever read the articles?
I've been, for the past 24 hours, I hear people talking about some Galamsey issue of some exposure of some minister and alleged bribery and corruption of that taken by Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. I've just heard people talking about it. But all these Galamsey things that have been, when I'm president, by 2024, if I become the president of this country, the first thing I will stop is Galamsey and mining completely. Even large scale and medium scale mining, I will stop every mining firm not to mine for the next 2 years. And I will cancel the contract of all mining companies and start afresh. The government of Ghana, if you remember, in Imam's time, in Nkrumah's time,
Kessben.
our reserve was gold as a country. As a nation, we had reserves in gold. Today, as a country, we have nothing. Nothing apart from debt. We have sold government property from the beginning to the end. That is why we want to sell Saglemi. We have privatized, sold every mineral resources of government that is supposed to give us reserves. We have bauxite is gone, manganese is gone, cocoa is gone, all the minerals are gone. So as a nation, what do we boast as our reserves? Think, what do we boast as a reserve? We have nothing. So if even government decides to say, okay, I as a president, the government of Ghana is going to be the sole mining company, because this is the minerals and property of the people of Ghana. This is what we call the national cake. And that is what we should not touch. That is what we should not privatize. Even Chinese are not killing Ghanaians in this country because of gold. And they get away because our security agencies goes to them and take money. So even when they kill people, they find it. Look at Asha Wang, or whatever they call her. Deported and she's back. Galamsey Pin. And let me tell you, most of these Chinese people who come here to do Galamsey are prisoners. Prisoners from China. When the Chinese is taking over the world, sending their prisoners all over and supporting them with funds. You think that they have that Chinese have, when you see the excavators today, tomorrow another new excavators are there. You think they have that money? It is the government of China that is sponsoring their people to go around the whole world and mine and make sure they get things back to China. And what do? As a country, we have given the heartbeat, the main property, the main mineral resources of this country to foreigners. And we are becoming slaves. And we call it PPP. We call it private partnership. I mean, are we serious? I don't want to begin to get angry and start insulting. But do we have common sense in dealing with that as a country, as leaders? Will we use our own properties and do that? Will we sell our own construction to people and sit down as slaves? That what is ours, will we always give it away? If your father dies and leaves you with property, will you be selling all those properties and think that you are moving forward? How can you be moving forward when you are selling your property? Anybody who sells his property is a failure.
I see.
Anybody who sells, when you cannot acquire and you sell, it's an indication that you have failed and you are running to a ditch. Remember that the moment you begin to sell your house now, your car, your studio, what it means is that, Masa, you are bankrupt.
You have nothing left.
Yes. Okay. And this is the indication of what government is showing us, that we are bankrupt, and we are. Ghana is not only in crisis, Ghana is bankrupt. The reason why, even when we borrow, we cannot pay. Now, our debt stock is over 530 billion. So we are borrowing as a nation, not to service debt, but to service interest on debt. That's what we are doing as a country.
Zaraga, I'm grateful for your time this morning. Thank you very much.
I'm grateful for Kessben TV and radio.
I'm
giving me that opportunity.
Thank you.
Good, thank you. Bye-bye.
And Mr. Hasan Ayariga, founder and leader, APC, Handa Yanino, and then come on 29 after 8. This is Kessben, Machi Jubedi, and Sini. Come on, Machi.